Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever struggled with dead zones in your garden or need rock solid internet out in your workshop, you're going to want to see this. Today, we're taking a close look at the WAVLINK Wi-Fi 7 outdoor router. Specifically, the BE5100 dual band mesh access point. This device brings next-generation Wi-Fi 7 dual-band technology right to your outdoor spaces. Let's talk about the speed. It delivers a combined throughput of up to 5.1 gigabits per second. Specifically, you get 688 megabits per second on the 2.4 gigahertz band, and a blazing 4,323 megabits per second on the 5 gigahertz band. This means you can stream 4K videos without buffering, and enjoy competitive gaming with near zero latency. Because it is engineered for extreme conditions, it features an IP67 rated waterproof and dustproof enclosure to handle heavy rain, dust storms, and debris. To protect its critical components during electrical storms, it also has a 15 kV ESD protection and 4 kV lightning surge defense built right in. To ensure that you get expansive outdoor coverage, it utilizes four 8-decibel high-gain fiberglass antennae for 360-degree signal, alongside a dedicated 5-decibel antennae designed to fill near-ground line zones. It sounds great on paper, but does it perform and live up to the hype? Well, let's get into it, set it up, and find out. Okay, so we've just plugged in the BE5100 from WAVLINK. It's the outdoor access point, and we're going to set that up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to head over to our little network icon here and click there. We're going to look for the available connections, and we'll scroll down and we'll see that WAVLINK is available. We're going to use the 5G connection, connect automatically, and click connect. This is just for the initial configuration. That's absolutely fine. Now, while we're connected, it says action is needed, and we're going to go to its default IP address, which is 192.168.30.1. May need to disconnect from our primary network a second. So what we can do is we can literally just pull the Ethernet out the back of the to configure this. We're not going to have any conflict in DNS on my network. So what I've done is I've pulled out the back of the Ethernet of my main studio PC while we use the Wi-Fi to connect to this thing. And we're going to start with configuring it. So we're going to click begin, and then it gives us the option of, where are we? And then it says create your admin password. Yeah. So what's happened there is it has a maximum amount of characters that it will allow you to use as an admin password. The problem is during the setup, it doesn't tell you what that maximum is, as you've witnessed. So therefore, you have to create a relatively short admin password. I wonder if it will be in the... Oh, this thing's got 500 megabytes of RAM. This thing's like a all-in-one router almost. Access point mode, DHCP. So if I go to advanced admin password... Yeah, it doesn't say what the maximum. It just says not less than 6, but we've tried that obviously. No idea. But here is the interface for this device. Pretty smart, straightforward. It's got 5 gigahertz, 2.4 gigahertz. CPU. Looks like we've got a gigahertz CPU in here. Multi-link operation, which it combines both of those bands. Advanced, channel automatic, hide, schedule if you want when turn the Wi-Fi on and off. And then here we've got device status, what firmware we're running on, the WAN. Now we don't actually have this backhauled up to a particular internet connection at the second. Those are the wireless modes that we've got on here. Mode selection, a few options here, especially if you're in a mesh. Repeater mode is probably where I'd like to go. A little gander what Wi-Fi can it connect to. Just thinking about it. Just got all my networks in range here. My BE9300 range.
I think we'll do manual input. The name for the network that we want is this. Band 5G, automatic encryption. Why has it got to change the Wi-Fi of this device? I mean, why can't we just keep the original names that we just had? It's interesting that on repeater mode, we can connect up to the next network using WPA3 encryption, but not when setting this device's own Wi-Fi, even though we could earlier on. So I've used the repeater mode to hook the BE5100 up to my network. As you can see, my firewall has established a nice sound connection, which is my router as well. It's hooked up nice, and just to give a quick overview here, I know a lot of people say, you know, oh, this is Chinese, do I have to be worried about it, blah, 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 blah. Well, I always like to do a bit of a deep dive and see exactly what type of things that this thing is connecting up to. Network, devices. So it's decided there's a randomized MAC address there. Now, the only thing that is actually connected to this is my studio PC. So we're seeing a lot of Bing connections. We are seeing a Hong Kong connection here. Some sort of API on a .xyz address. And we can ask Firewaller about this connection using its built-in AI. So it's saying api.wsock.wavlink.xyz is a domain associated with WAVLink's cloud services. It may be accessed by WAVLink devices or app firmware updates, remote management, or IoT device communication. It's likely used for IoT connectivity to cloud-based management, hosted by Alibaba Cloud, owned by the Shenzhen Yunlink Tech Co. Limited, WAVLink manufacturer, part of WAVLink's ecosystem. Now, there shouldn't be any reason why we can't block that, for example. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug my Ethernet connection again from my main computer so that we are exclusively using the WAVLink for internet connections. And if we go to something like, well, as we're going over the Wi-Fi at this point, we should be able to, for example, use, so we can see Tesco.com because we've gone there. We can see Steam Server because all the apps and everything on the system is now running through there. I'm going to block everything on the WAVLink.xyz domain to see if it impacts any of its functionality. And while we're there, let's go to 192.168.31, which is its subnet. We might need to go via its other IP that's now attached from the system, 192.168.692. Yes. So when it's in repeater mode, you have to use the IP address that it's been assigned by your network. It's no longer being used on its own. We'll use the admin password that we created. Now, bearing in mind, we have obviously blocked all WAVLink.xyz connections. Sometimes that can make it want to connect even more, or even establish other IP addresses and things like that. The reason I include these in videos is because a lot of my viewers have asked for me to test these things and look into these things. By the way, if you want to pick yourself up a Firewaller Gold SE or one of the Firewaller devices, these are awesome firewall routers. I've got a link in the description below and in the comments, so you can pick these up because they're so good for network security. Firmware updates. Check for a new version. So I've run the check for a new version. Now let's update the list to see. So yeah, as we can see, it's just reached back out to that address at 23 minutes past 2. So that is obviously using them. The reason why that's not going through is because we blocked it. But just to kind of test exactly what that's sending, what it's not. So we know what's actually happening there is that it's reaching out for firmware updates using that particular API. We've got backup and restore functionality, which is great. Generating a backup file lets you download it. Okay, I think what we'll do is we'll do a local speed test first to see what speed it's getting across the Wi-Fi networks. It's on 5 gigahertz. So we're theoretically looking at its top end speed. I am in a densely congested area, mind, especially with all the Wi-Fi antennas and networks that I've got set up in my home lab. So almost half a gig there, symmetric, is damn good. Ping is extremely low, jitter is extremely low. And again, if you think about it, I've got that connected to my back wall. So that speed is actually being pushed through 1, 2, 3 walls back to me in my studio from outside. So I'm achieving a symmetric half a gig through 3 walls of a house. Bearing in mind, you'd be using this while you're outside, probably with a clear line of sight. So you'll probably be ending getting up to the top peak speeds. That's impressive. Timing reboot, so you can actually set up when you want this to reboot, if ever. Time zones. And we've got parental Wi-Fi. So like you can have it so that it's on a schedule, so you can put your kids on that Wi-Fi network and decide when that goes on and off. That, I've got to be honest, for what essentially should just be a Wi-Fi access point, that's bloody impressive. There is a host of unique, different use cases for this that, you know, you wouldn't necessarily need to even have this outside the house all the time. I mean, you could actually use it as a full-fledged Wi-Fi access point in the house on its ability to do these different things. You would obviously hook this up to a network in your house. You wouldn't use this on its own. But I think we can definitely safely allow that domain again. And all we'll do is we'll just delete the rule. So that's an overview of the WAVLINK BE5100. Now, while outside in my garden, I'm pushing around 700 meg down and about 900 meg up. Again, heavily Wi-Fi congested area. It's amazing that this thing can push those speeds. You can see that we are using Wi-Fi 7. This is on my Z Fold 7. So we're using the latest possible Wi-Fi standards and encryption here as well. And again, in this environment, it is pushing almost up to 3/4 of a gig. So I hope I've given you a good overview of this product. I hope that you've become a little bit more informed of the features that you can get on this product and its use cases. It's definitely going to be perfect for those family events or even for yourself when you're out, you're barbecuing, and everyone's no longer complaining about the router not being close enough to the back garden, or the kids getting disconnected when they sat outside trying to be quiet and you're trying to keep them quiet. So it is a good product. It has got a lot of good features in it, and I imagine that they will only get better with the feedback from videos like mine. So I'd like to thank WAVLINK for sending this over for me, for trying that out, and yeah, I'll catch you in the next one.